What's Kisara going to do now?
I'm sure it's complicated for her.
Da ich immer noch die Level-Up-Benachrichtigung hatte, gehe ich nicht davon aus, dass sie lange wegbleibt. Warum kann ich da nicht runterspringen? Geht doch.
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
Nicht wirklich.
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Ich dachte jetzt für einen Moment, sie hat mit der Katze
Looks like
gesprochen.
it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Die Bewegungsanimation ist draußen ein bisschen komisch.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danin lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Eldaman and Sia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
Aha.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened.
But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renin lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream.
All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
Yay! Noch eine Aktion mehr. Danke, Doppelsprung. Was haben wir hier jetzt noch? Ja komm, voll mit, dann ist gut. Was haben wir bei dir jetzt mit? Von mir aus ist mir ziemlich egal. Alles andere habe ich jetzt zu wenig. Ach, das ist die Wirkzeit. Was haben wir jetzt bei dir? Wenn das ist mir ziemlich egal. Habe ich bei dir noch irgendwas? So. Das kann man gebrauchen. Das kommt mit. Lesung, Luftdruck. Fertig. Geht wohl nur im Kampf. Was bescheuert ist.
I think Hoodle senses something. Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Was soll denn bitte die Eule sein? Und das ist nicht das Zeichen für eine Kartoffel. Da oben.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Ich weiß, dass da wieder was im Wald los ist.
There's something in the water.
Oh Gott. Wie? Krieg
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
ich jetzt gezeigt, wie man angelt?
Pond, and it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of.
Ja,
You had to
jetzt
take
kriege ich
matters into your
gezeigt, wie
own
man
hands
angelt.
if you wanted enough food
Nach
to
dem dritten
survive.
Lord.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
Ich hab keinen Bock auf die Scheiße.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really for me.
Ja, ich kann's.
Kisara, I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Von mir aus, aber lass mich da
Looks like
raus.
we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
Das ist mir scheißegal. Ich werde definitiv nicht in
When you
diesem
put it
Spiel
like
angeln.
that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever
Von
feel
mir
like
aus, dann geh
fishing
allein
or
angeln.
you've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Kannst allein
Good to
fischen.
hear. Thanks for showing us.
Du kannst damit gerne alleine fischen gehen.
Okay.
Ist mir scheißegal. The fuck I'm doing that. Oh, Schaut. Das ist sogar gut. Da hat's einen Soldaten umgehauen. Eieiei.
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just
Hey.
Hmm?
Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
how come you walk together like that?
She
Oder-
really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Komm, gehen wir direkt ein Stück weiter. Kein Grund für einen Zwischenstopp.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Wie, du meinst wahrscheinlich den Drachen, der da um die Ecke Gut, ist kein Drache, ist ein Greifen. Also Falken. Ach komm. Why not?
I've got a really bad feeling about this. I'm like bait for them.
Got fire.
I've got this.
All yours.
Eieiei.
Here's a healing arm.
You picked the wrong fight.
Na gut, die dürften ein bisschen mehr Leben haben.
We got the advantage. Good. Just have to make sure we keep it. Don't worry, 'cause Raw's on.
Wenn man bedenkt, ich bin wahrscheinlich definitiv ein Stück unterlevelt.
Nicely done, Shion.
You're slacking. Step it up.
Yeah,
If I do.
you got it.
Do it. Up and at 'em. Let's go.
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
Nett.
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Die waren 4 Level drüber. You've got to be kidding me.
All right.
Huh.
There's nowhere to run from my arc.
When he slows down, that's our chance.
It's like trying to keep up with a wall.
Oh, direkt sogar.
In a vine.
Demon Fang.
One last one. Raging Cascade. Sleep now.
Demon Fang.
Stockpile.
Glacial Spear.
Fierce evil.
In a vine.
Thunder Blade.
Double Demon Fang.
Meine Güte.
Now or never. In a vine.
Double Demon Fang.
Scheiß Ding.
Now or never. It must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
If you're ever in a pinch, just say the word.
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
Und weg.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Ah, Artefakte. Ach du lieber Himmel.
That treasure. What a sweet...
Oh Gott. Das wird richtig lustig. Habe ich hier eigentlich irgendwas? Oh, der Hurricane. Mach den mal rein. So. Bodenangriff. Was habe ich hier? Rising Wyvern. Herrscherhieb. Zerstörung.
Astounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Woods don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be
Meine
alone.
Güte.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Oh, klasse.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me. Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
That's what I did for shooting too high.
Naja. Ich muss das ja übertreiben. Wir müssen dem Scheißding auch mal treffen, dann wäre es auch gut.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
I'm even strong.
Oh Gott, das wird noch eine ganze Weile dauern.
Than before.
Ja, ich muss da hoch.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
Nur
That's
darf
mountain
man?
hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
More Danon runes here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Nicht schon.
Builds up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahawk Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
Hmm.
Je weniger ich kämpfen muss, desto besser.